Hey, everybody. We're live, if you can believe that. I am finally back in the saddle. A little worse for wear, but we are rolling anyway, and I am extremely excited. Excited or excited? We'll go with excited. I'm partaking tonight, so you have to excuse my slurs, I guess, if you will. Excuse me for a second. All right, hey. We're back in the saddle. We've got Tyler from Tundra Tactical on the line tonight with us, and this is just going to be kind of a free for all. Say hey, Tyler.
Hey, Mark. I want you to look at the chat. Shek is saying he can't hear you.
Can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Interesting.
Let us know if that's just Shek that can't hear us, or if that's the whole thing. But I am doing very well, sir. I am doing very well. Thanks for having me on.
I'm watching myself on the YouTubes right now, so
yeah,
we're going to mute
everything's good.
All right, so we'll go with that. Hey, it's a glitch right off the bat from me getting right back into the saddle after my after kind of taking a bit of time off. I took about the majority of March off to prepare for this this fight that I did on March 30th. I know, right? And that's why I'm still kind of healing up. You may see some discoloration in my cheek.
I was just going to say, did you skip makeup today, man?
I did. I wanted to make sure you guys saw that I actually did do the fight. I actually did go into the ring. I actually did get my ass kicked. And I actually did break my nose yet again. So,
gee dang it. Gee dang it.
Anyway, so it was good experience. I have a much more profound respect for fighters, those guys who actually get into the ring, have to cut weight, and just have to go through the whole process. As a 41-year-old man having to do it, that was a little bit more challenging than some of your younger folks out there, but it was still a really cool experience. I can tell you that the Never Surrender MMA folks really put on a good show. Regardless of how my performance was. And hopefully here soon, I will have the raw footage so you guys can see me get my ass kicked. I mean, that's really what happened. There's no way around it.
You got to give yourself some credit, man. I mean, it takes a lot of cojones to stand up, and you were not necessarily fighting above your weight, but I mean, the guy was like a head taller than you.
He was
half your age.
Yeah, he was half my age and 8 inches taller than me. So
I mean, that's a tough fight going in.
Yeah. So I talked to my trainer after it. We had a nice long heart-to-heart about it, and we both learned from it for sure. So probably shouldn't have taken that fight. But anyway, that's kind of the gist of what happened on the 30th. I sure do appreciate everyone that did show up for the fight. I had some really cool Patreon members. Todd, thank you so much for showing up to the fight with the wife wearing the Fit and Fire t-shirt. That was pretty awesome. Love that. Yeah. I had a really good friend, Melissa and Josh. They came up from Wichita. My brother came up. Drew, a huge supporter of the channel, he was there. All you guys, thank you so much for being at the fight. I sure do appreciate it.
That's got to feel pretty good when you're looking out over the crowd and you see a few Fit and Fire t-shirts out there.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. Oh, and most importantly, my son was there, right? And his girlfriend and his best friend. So that was really, 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 really cool. So Shek Jesus jumping in there already with the $4.99 contribution. Thank you so much, sir. Shalom to you. He says, buy yourself a cold compress. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cold turkey. I've gone cold turkey. I haven't done anything to my nose. I haven't put a
great point.
I haven't put freaking peas on it. I haven't put steak on it. I haven't put ice on it. I haven't done nothing. So
great point. Cold turkey is so delicious, though.
It is cool. Yeah, it actually pretty good. So let's go jump right into the chat room. Say hey to everybody real quick. We got Andrew. Brother, love you. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the channel. Mark, the mil-spec guy. Love that dude. Congratulations to him and his new addition.
Mike.
Yeah, mil-spec Mike. Mysterious Nix Phoenix, thanks for joining in. interesting, Phoenix. I am currently reading the Rising Phoenix graphic novel for X-Men, getting prepared for the Dark Phoenix movie coming out here in June. So a little nerdy comic book thing going on there. Of course, Shuck Jesus in there. Matthew Hoover, excuse me, I'm getting ready to mispronounce your last name. Thanks for jumping in. The Gun Snob, he jumped in there. That's a Patreon member. Thank you so much for jumping in tonight. Drop it like it's Scott. Good to see you, sir. Coming from us down in the dirty South, Florida. Todd Schmidt. He's not doing anything tonight but watching Fit and Fire. I saw that on Instagram. Love you guys, man. Let's see. Avery, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Miss Kay, hey. I saw you in the comment section of another video, and I was going to make a comment to you, but I figured, that's all right. Chris, 6'5", Cop Watch. And let's see, who else? Black Diamond Guns and Gears. We got some celebrities in the chat room right now. This is Tundra Tactical Guy. And yeah, you don't know me. He's in there right now. Shooter 59, Christopher Smith, Colin Fisher. I just jumped past a whole bunch of people. So yeah, there we go. I think I've caught everybody up. If I missed you, I sure do apologize, but I'm pretty sure that if you keep on talking, I will see you.
If I could, for just a second, I want to tackle a question in the chat here. This is great, by the way, being a guest and being able to actually look at the chat instead of having to look at my show notes the whole time.
Sure.
The mysterious Nick Phoenix is asking, he asked a couple of times earlier if 204 Ruger was a good caliber. And interestingly enough, back when I was a total noob at gun ownership, I owned one. And at first, it kind of sounds like I'm going to slam the caliber a little bit by saying that, but it's a cool little thing. It's a wicked fast round. It's something like 41 or 4,200 feet per second at its high load on like a 28 or 29 grain cartridge or bullet projectile, I think. And it's not ideal for target shooting if that's what you're looking for, but he says he has one, haven't shot it in a while, and I want to know if it's okay to drop $18 on 2 boxes of ammo. And if I remember correctly, it was about $1 a shot last time I owned it. So $18 on 2 boxes of ammo sounds like a pretty decent price. I could be wrong on that, but I got rid of mine a while back just because I realized, wait, 204 doesn't have much target value. It's great if you want to, pop the tops off gophers or prairie dogs. But outside of that, doesn't hold too much value. Hopefully that answers your question. Take it away, Mark.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about the 204. Is that like a neck down version of a larger caliber? Or?
No, it's just a tiny little laser beam cartridge. Think of it as like a nutted up 17 HMR or something like that.
Interesting. So I don't know anything about it. I've never shot one, but yeah, sounds pretty cool.
Google it.
I think I will try unless they block me. So
more on that later.
More on that later. Yeah. So Patreon call out. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for the Patreon members. If you guys don't already know, I do have a Patreon. If you guys are interested, I don't ask you guys to do it. If it's something you want to do, I would greatly appreciate it. But I always like to say thank you so much to my Patreon members, each and every single live chat. And I go through the list. There's not too many. We got 14 of them. And I sure do greatly appreciate each and every single one of them. We got Craig. He's the original Patreon member. He's the first one in. James, John, Luke, the Grim Reaper, Puck, 66871, the Semi-Armed Life. I love those two. Alana and Mike. So those guys, those are pretty awesome. Anyway, the Real Gun Snob, Tob, here, take my money. Schmidt, thank you so much for everything you do for the channel. You do a lot. Drew is a huge supporter for the channel. He's not necessarily an active Patreon member, but he is a major contributor to a number of different things that we do with the channel as far as projects goes. We got a few new ones. We've got Izzy. Tacos are the best long. There's this one group of fellas that they're pretty cool every once in a while. And one of the guys loves Scotch, Tundra Tactical. They jumped on board. I sure do appreciate that.
Just sometimes, though.
Yeah, just sometimes. And then since my last live chat, we've got 2 new members. Greg, thank you so much for jumping on board. And then I have a celebrity who has jumped in on the Patreon group. Such has jumped in as a Patreon. Sir,
That's
thank you
an
so
endorsement.
much.
Woo.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely love that man. He is super, super cool. So thank you so much. Before the show, I asked the Patreon members if they wanted to throw in some questions. And the first one comes from Todd. He says, how did you get so lucky to have such a nice head of hair? And the answer to that is genetics. I've got some pretty decent genetics, and that's all I can say.
I love how the first friggin' question on here is about hair.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know, right? So, but then he goes on to ask, did the AK guy copy your hair care regimen? And the answer is no, because he uses Cosmoline for his hair gel, and I don't use that. I use pomade. So there's that. Now, here's an interesting question. I would really like Tyler to jump in on this, but Drew wants to know what will be the viable technology first. Would that be focused energy or biometric gun locks?
I'm assuming he means like laser blasters from focused energy.
Yes, or like grip safeties, like on pistols, like where you grab it and it won't shoot unless your biometrics are on the pistol itself.
Sure. Unfortunately, I'm gonna vote with my head and not my heart. As much as I would love to see the Star Wars style laser blasters, I do think biometric gun locks and like grip locks will be first. Will they be effective? Will they work terribly well? Probably not, considering that we've already seen a few attempts made at that technology. But oh, how freaking cool would it be to just go out to the range and quite literally pew pew a laser beam?
Well, you have to be very careful too, because if we end up on the Empire, we're not going to be able to hit anything anyway, right? So there's
I think
that.
that's just stormtroopers, because I mean, come on, let's just say this. Think of it as a capitalistic opportunity. Okay, they can't shoot, we can. We could make a killing running training courses out there.
We could
get a little that Kevin Dixie on our side, and then oh my god, yeah, we'd make a killing.
So my vote is also for biometric gun locks, because to be frankly honest with you, with the focused energy, we haven't gotten the technology figured out for the phase plasma rifle in the 40-watt range. So if anybody knows what reference that comes from, go ahead and put it in the chat room. But yeah, we have.
I want to say, is that an Alien reference?
No, it is not.
No, it's not. Okay.
No, it is not. It is. I'm not going to say. I'm going to say. I'm sure someone's got it in the chat room, and you don't know me says I would totally buy a high point Star Wars blaster. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, I think biometric gun locks are going to be more feasible. We already see some companies out there that have like slide locks that has kind of a combination type of thing that you can put in a combination and rack the slide and it pops out. So
for all my Star Wars nerds out there, I want to pose a question. What would be the high point equivalent of the Star Wars universe? Would it be like the E11 or Go? That's my vote, is the E11. I'm just posing the question. You do not have to answer, sir, if you are not a massive Star Wars fan. I am a little bit.
So Drew's got it right. Terminator. Terminator.
I feel like I should have known that one too.
Yeah. So he's in the gun. He's in the gun store, and he's like pulling all these weapons down. He's like phase plasma rifle and 40. And hey, just what you see, pal. Okay. All right.
So I have an interesting aside to that. And unfortunately, I have not had guns that don't work. Okay, here's what I'm looking for. So are you familiar with the USS Zumwalt?
No. What is that?
It's the Navy's new destroyer, or it was the Navy's proposed new destroyer. It's that. I'm sure you've seen pictures of it. It's the triangular looking one.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Looks all weird. So allegedly, the gun that they fitted, and this parlays into the whole focused energy versus biometrics. because I'm going to eventually pose another question here that I think will be relevant. So allegedly, the rocket-assisted rounds that they were using, or that they were planning on using for whatever caliber was on the Zumwalt, are no longer going to be in production. The project was canceled. So the funny thing is the Zumwalt has a gun system on it that doesn't have anybody producing ammunition for it, which I think is hilarious. Like, go Navy, right? Come on. But there is a theory. There is a theory saying that the Zumwalt, because it is, apparently it has enough power, will it be the first platform for the railgun?
Ooh.
So my question for you guys is, do you think the railgun technology could come before even both of those?
That's actually a good point. I think that if we can get a manufacturer that would push into that route, that could be feasible. But
well, if you do some research on the subject, which apparently I have, but have just forgotten where I did my research from, which typical Tundra Tactical, I know. There is some compelling evidence to support that prediction.
Interesting. Well, I just wrote a little note here to do some research on some railgun tech.
There you go. God, the slow-mo of that railgun going, I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't seen the slow-mo of the railgun going, man, that's the ultimate America footage right there. I mean, it literally could not be more. Just sitting there, be like, that explosion might as well be red, white, and blue.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, so one of the main reasons that I wanted to pull in the Patreon guys for questions is something that has happened here in the last, I would say, probably 10 to 14 days that I've been noticing. It's a little troubling on my side of the house. I don't know if you've had any issues on your side of the house there, Tyler, but I've had a major push from YouTube on demonetization of my videos. I've actually had 16 videos demonetized.
Yuck.
Yes.
16
in just the last 10 to 14-ish days.
Cripes.
Yeah. So I don't really understand what the problem is, but what I have noticed is all of those videos have had some type of following behind it. So there's...
Oh my God. I know exactly why. I'm serious. I know exactly why.
Right. Yeah.
The person who is demonetizing your videos owns a G2C.
Ironically enough, those 4 videos are not demonetized.
That's really? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Maybe they don't.
So there's 5 videos that have significant following for my channel that I would say would be over 30,000 views. 3 videos that have over 100,000 views, are actually 5 videos that are over 100,000 views that have not been hit by demonetization, but all these other ones have. And I don't quite understand it. One of them was the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 2.0. That one got dinged, but my G2C unboxing video didn't. So I don't know. So whatever.
Yeah, it's strange. We've had our encounters with it. Fortunately for us, I guess unfortunately for you, that trend does not exist on our channel yet. Hopefully it doesn't for the foreseeable future. But I also do believe that because we suffer from the Yankee Marshall syndrome and don't shoot a lot of guns live on our show.
Speak for yourself.
No, that's what I'm saying is because Tundra, we do the talking head comedy bit. We don't actually show a lot of shooting. I think that there's less of a chance of us getting dinged for those. The one trend that I've noticed is it's a lot of shooting videos that show people shooting guns. Oh my God, I just had a thought. What if, for some stupid reason, it was because you didn't safety check your gun? So the YouTube overlords, he didn't safety check his gun. We must punish him.
Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of comments in the chat room about the G2C. Avery, I don't want to misgender you. I'm assuming that's a she.
2019, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's 2019. Avery. We'll just go with Avery. Avery says, no gender, right? I agree with the G2C being a good gun, is what she's saying. They're saying, excuse me. I agree. But now the Shield Gen 1 is $250. It doesn't make sense even at $199. That's a very good point. Great point. And I've got some insider information. I had a subscriber hit me up and said, hey, I'm kind of strapped for cash right now, but I want to buy a Gen 1 Shield. Do you think PSA will have those still available at the beginning of May? And I sent an email off to PSA, and they came back and they said, we have plenty on hand. Should be no issues having those in through May. So that $250 sale that they've got going on with the Shields with PSA, that will be going on into May. So, you know, if you guys are interested, jump right on that. So
Avery is a dude.
Yes, I see that, Ryan. Thank you so much for that.
Shaq he's a little he wants Avery to prove it. And prior, Avery, to you accepting that challenge, let me say I have in fact Snapchatted Shaq Jesus before. And the stuff you get back is terrifying. I just know what you're getting into and understand that prior to entering into that covenant.
I can only imagine.
He's a great guy.
Yes, he is. He is. I sure do appreciate everything that he does and is going to do here in the future for the channel. So we've had some sidebar conversations, and he is he's amazing. Amazing. Anyway, so hey, let's talk about news.
Yeah, I like news.
Okay, so
should we do like a it's the news.
It's already done. There we go. So the Gun Collective talked about it earlier this week, but the U.S. Army just completed their submachine gun trials, and they have a new submachine gun. Yes, the Army.
New submachine gun, huh?
They have a new submachine guns. They have purchased 350 of this particular submachine gun at the cost of $2.2 million, with an option to buy another 1,000 of these.
What is that per unit?
Well, it's also you know, maintenance costs, parts, and so on and so forth. So it is a like I said, submachine gun. It is strictly for PDW type of purposes that will be meant for protection details. So this isn't going to be going to your 11 Bravo series and being fielded that way like the P320 is with everybody in the Army, but it will be more likely used for special operations, you know, getting into higher levels of the military with geo protection and stuff like that. So you want to venture a guess on which weapon was chosen from the 10 that they looked at?
The only like realistic one that I can think of off the top of my head would be, and this I'm not going to make a joke out of this. There's plenty of options I could go with. Would be like the MCX or the MPX, excuse me.
MPX, yeah, and that's actually a really good viable option because, you know, SIG did just pick up the P320, right? Incidentally, you know, my wife is deployed. She actually is carrying one of those right now. She started carrying a Beretta 92, and then one of the individuals that she worked with had to be redeployed back to the States, so she was able to pick up her P320. And the very first question I asked, and I says, "Does it feel lighter?" And she's like, "Oh my God, it feels so much lighter."
The guess, by the way.
Yes, yeah, of course, Andrew. He's on top of it. So, yeah,
we're going old school. You know how retros become such the big thing? The military is actually adopting the M3.
Yeah, you know, they should do it. I really think. I mean,
they're also reissuing the Delisle carbine. Do you remember what that one was? That was the one-shot bolt-action integrally suppressed 45 ACP Enfield that was modified to take 1911 megs.
Yeah. Wow. Well, there you go.
Commandos.
So
what is the gun? What is the because it's obviously not the MPX.
no,
Otherwise
it's not the
it would break.
MPX, and you'd be surprised at the different types of weapons that was entered in, and the companies. I mean, you had SIG, you had Beretta. Didn't even know Beretta did it. SMG. You had
The CX4.
no. It's
Okay,
something
I
else.
was gonna say, is this Battlestar Galactica now?
I know, right? So then you had an AR-9 variant. You had Zenith dropping in their MP5 clone.
Which I think is hilarious that an MP5 clone is being considered over the MP5. Does that say something against H&K or something for Zenith?
I don't know. I think H&K actually had one of theirs in there as well. I can't remember, but the B&T APC 9K is what was picked up. So yes,
was that Swiss?
Yes, Swiss.
Brugger and Thormont or whatever.
Yes, that's correct. I don't know how to pronounce those words because there's a lot of vowels in them.
Yeah, there's a lot of Swissness.
So, but one of the interesting things, and I kind of understand one of the reasons why that the Army may have picked it up is I was watching a video today, and did you ever see The Other Guys?
Oh yeah.
All right. So there's that scene where Mark Wahlberg is over visiting his partner, and he brings up he brings up his computer, and he has this like program running, and it's got the voice over talking. It's from like the PBS documentary series. You know what the scene I'm talking about?
Do not.
Okay. Anyway, I watched a video that had this like voiceover computer generated like talking thing, right? So
look at Milspec in the chat. Buckley and Thermo. Milspec, write that down just in case we ever do a video on a B&T gun. That's what we're calling it.
You should do a video on the freaking SMG trials and say and do the what does your SMG say about you?
We could do that. We could.
Yeah.
Do that.
Anyway, so I was watching this video about the B&T APC-9, and supposedly, I have no way to confirm this, but supposedly it takes the P320 magazines as well.
That makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, seeing that the P320 or the M17, I should be saying, the M17 has 21 round magazines. So
you're just a military spouse, man. You can refer to it by the civilian name.
That's true, but I do hold my wife's rank.
Oh yes. Do I have to salute you next time I see you, then, sir?
Not with your hand.
Attaboy. I'm down.
Well,
right. This turned really weird really quickly. But
it did. So
subject to happen.
But with the SMG, this is something we kind of started to dive into before we went live. Is
can you do that one more time for me? This is doing the tornado.
Kind of. I'm in Kansas, right?
Oh, very good point, sir.
Yeah, see, but one of the things that we started talking about is all these different SMGs that were put into the U.S. trials. Kind of brought up the UMP. You started talking about the UMP 45 and how kind of ugly that gun looks, but
it does, and the Brugger and Thormont does look a little bit UMP-esque.
I gotta interrupt you.
Yeah, I see it.
The Angel of Verdun has graced us with her presence. Madam.
Milady.
A hat tip to you.
Yep.
Have you seen her Instagram feed here in the last couple of days with the Mad Max?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm jealous because I'd have to paint my whole freaking head to do that. It's a lot of paint, man. It's all that stuff in gallons.
Let's see. Richard Oliver, he says, Fitfire, you have a lot of pride in your wife. Well, she's a badass. So, I mean, there's, and I have to have a lot of pride in my wife because she will probably kick my ass. So, and she also knows where I sleep. So, there's that. So, but getting back to the kind of the UMP 45 and how it's kind of ugly and everything, what do you think makes a gun look cool? What do you
That is a loaded question, sir. I don't think that I can answer that question, but I'd like to turn that on its head
Okay.
and re-ask the question on what makes a gun look cool. Not necessarily what you personally think, or how important is aesthetic in a gun. And the reason that I want to know this is not twofold. It's onefold, I guess, if that's even a real term. And both of the guns that I'm looking at right now purchasing, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the reason I want them is they're good guns. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the reason I want them is because they look freaking awesome. And the two guns that I am really heavily considering right now picking up are the Canik TP9 Elite Combat for the handgun, and the Gen 2 or the version 2 of the Palmetto State Armory AKV9.
Yes, the upgraded versions.
I gotta say, man, when it comes to pistol caliber carbines, there's 101 different AR style 9mm PCCs out there. Then you have the sci-fi style guns like the CX4, and then you have your Scorpions and stuff like that. And outside of like the Scorpion or maybe the Brugger and Thormont submissions, there's not a whole lot of guns that really are going away from the AR style look, I guess. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it has become, especially in the pistol caliber carbine world, for me, a bit stale. Seeing things like the FX9 or the MPX, all these guns, does it take Glock mags, that type of stuff. And then
is it mil spec?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great point. Great point. Something I forgot to bring up. But now that the military has adopted a Brugger and Thormont gun, which they are notoriously high quality, does that actually raise the standard for mil spec? Is buying mil spec now not necessarily a bad thing? I don't know if it's enough, but going in that trend, I mean, you have FN now making a lot of the standard infantry weapons. And then you have Brugger and Thormont making some of the SF dudes' guns, or their SMGs at least. That's a step in the right direction. So I'll leave that to the chat to discuss. But those are the two main guns that I'm looking at right now. And, budget is a consideration, function, form, comfort, usability, obviously. We'll take a page right out of the book of of the leader of the internet gun world himself, Mr. Nuttin Fancy. The philosophy of use. Those are all important considerations.
Coming at you from the vault.
I know. Jesus Christ, that guy's a weirdo. I can't even say it with a straight face. Aesthetic is, for me at least, is a consideration. Not necessarily the top always, but if I were to rank aesthetic out of, like a 1 to 10 right now, for those two guns especially, they're really drawing me in because of the way they look. The AKV9, I love that hinge top with the Picatinny rail on it. It looks unique, like a little mini Draco with a 9mm Scorpion mag coming out the bottom of it. It just looks cool, man. And I want to know, from you and from the chat here, is aesthetic a major consideration in your purchases, or is it just, it can be ugly as sin? Like maybe we'll use the example from the earlier posted grease gun. If it's stupid, but it works, is it a good purchase yet? Or, do you consider aesthetic to be high up there in determining what gun you're going to purchase?
So what I personally have to have some type of aesthetic connection to a weapon, regardless of what it is. I will say that when I first saw Glocks, I thought they were ugly, but I actually have now come to really like the look of a Glock, because I think what really boils it down to is I know that a Glock's going to work right out of the box for 5,000 plus rounds before it jams the first time, or whatever the case may be. I know that's not accurate, but I think that's it's like looking excuse the male chauvinist here, but it's like looking at a chick and being like, oh, but she has a good personality, you know.
Nobody says that.
She has a really good personality, and that makes her very, very attractive. And I mean, honestly, there are a lot of women who have really awesome personalities that make them far more attractive.
I thought you were going to say that make them single.
That's what you would say, or the mil-spec guy. That's probably what he would say too. But anyway, but I have to have an aesthetic connection, right? So very good point, and kind of gives a good little segue to my new AR build.
Oh,
right,
that is a good looker.
Yeah, right. So it's an Aero Precision M4E1, and the reason why that I like this above any other AR that's out there is because of the aesthetics of the lower and upper receiver and how they tie together. It looks like a billet, but it's not a billet, you know? So you don't have any issues with it being a billet, compatibility, stuff like that. And that's one of the things that I love the Aero Precision M4E1, M5E1 lines, is because of the aesthetics of it. It's still an AR, but it looks good. You know,
and you know, there's plenty of ways to make an AR look good, but just for me, I guess the big thing that drew me to that AKV9 and kind of keeps drawing me to it as my pistol caliber carbine of choice, if and when I decide to purchase one, is just the fact that it is, and I might dig myself into a hole by saying this, but it's an AK PCC. Now, I know there's another one out there, but that one looks dumb.
It does, yes. I don't like it.
Dumb. And that is just, it's as simple as that. The straight rear slanting Glock magazine looks stupid on that gun.
Yeah.
And if it were between that one and the other one, I would choose the PSA.
See, and it's interesting because, you know, like I said, we have the Angel of Verdun in the chat room. She is a huge freaking Bren light machine gun fan, right? And while I what's a nice way to say this?
The mil-spec guy, let me get grand thumb on speed dial, excuse me.
Right.
Hello?
Exactly.
Haley's child. Go ahead.
But the you know, I personally think the Bren is somewhat ugly, to be honest with you, but I respect it, right? Because it was so widely used in Europe amongst a number of different countries. So there's it's battle tested. I know it's battle tested. I personally think it's ugly, but you know, it's a no judgment.
You're wrong.
Yes, I am wrong because
you're wrong.
It's Angel Verdun. I'm always going to be wrong. So.
Yeah.
But cheers to you, madam.
Milady. Well, you switched from scotch to vodka?
No. That's just water. I had to rinse my mouth there.
At least you're drinking the water straight up with no ice. You were ruining that scotch with ice.
I'm not ruining it.
Yes, you are.
I told you I have to have it cold, right?
Scotch, are you ruining scotch? Chat, are you ruining scotch if you put ice in it?
I already know that Drew's going to say yes. So, and just so you know, the scotch that I'm drinking here was donated to the channel by Drew. So thank you so much. Technically, it's not scotch. It's whiskey, I think. It's a brand called Monkey Shoulder, but it's good and it tastes like scotch. So
interesting.
All right.
I just think aesthetic is an important piece in, you know, especially with all of the you know, the competitive nature of the firearms out there right now. There's a lot of really, really good stuff. And the simple fact that there is a lot of really good stuff out there right now. D, oh my God, D's in the house and he's giving you $5 for me to drink.
Thanks, D. You are the man. So I'll even partake the little bit of a sip I've got here going on too.
But D's awesome. Every week, he's not always able to make our Saturday live streams, but every week, about 10 minutes before our live streams, he sends us $10 via PayPal. So
that's pretty awesome.
He's pretty awesome.
So real quick then, still going into this aesthetics question, what would be your top 3 aesthetic pleasing pistols prior to 1970?
Wow.
Mine's super easy. I already know what they are. So
you go first.
Okay, so the very first one is the Mauser broom handle.
That was on my list. That's the first one I thought of
for obvious reasons, right? Number 2 is the Ruger, the Luger, excuse me, the Luger, and then number 3 is going to be the P38.
All right. The question is, how seriously do I take this question? Because there are a lot of really goofy looking handguns prior to 1970.
If you say a Wolverine, I will end this freaking podcast.
I'm not even that. I wouldn't go there. Are we talking like, man, it's such a personal question, I suppose.
It really is. I mean, and you don't have to. I mean, it doesn't have to like.
I'm gonna say it just number 2 on my list, just for this, like the raw uniqueness of it. The Colibri. If you don't know what the Colibri is, Google it.
I gotta Google it right now.
You'll be surprised. KOL Colib IBRI KOLIBRI, I believe. It's the smallest duty issued handgun ever in the history. Fires a 2.7 millimeter cartridge, I believe, from a magazine, by the way.
Really?
Yep.
This thing?
Yep. I think it's cool.
Did you pull this off of Red Dead Redemption?
Yep.
I mean, did you really?
No, what you need to do, you need to look at it in comparison to somebody's hand to really like figure out how small that gun is, and then to understand that it's fed by a magazine from the handle, just like a standard gun.
So it almost looks like it's kind of like the Bond Arms.
Yeah, kind of
bullpup, right?
I think the obvious choice would be a 1911, but I'm going to go a little off the beaten path here, and go with a Colt 1903?
Yeah,
yeah. Or the Spanish Rubies, very similar to the Colt 1903s. But that broom handle, though, I'm telling you, I had one in the range the other day. A guy came in with an actual broom handle the other day, and it was awesome because it started slam firing. And the rate of fire on that son of a gun was probably somewhere in the realm of 900 rounds a minute. It was just boom.
Did you yell at him? Hey, 1 round a second, guy.
You know what? So at the range that I work at here in the Twin Cities of the great state, not right now, but normally the great state of Minnesota, my spiel is, I don't care how fast you fire, as long as you're not putting any skylights or any new skylights in the range roof. As long as you can keep it on target, shoot as fast as you want. And people greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, because
that's not very common for a lot of ranges.
No, it's not. Not the ranges that we have around here. I mean, the ranges that we do have are nice. They're decent. The one indoor range that we have locally, that's the better one, I should say. They actually have shooting competitions every other week, so that's pretty cool. But I've gotten so used to shooting on my own at a semi-private range, just being able to do whatever I want. It's kind of
like we should be playing like depressing music in the background right now. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone.
Are you making that up, or is that an actual song?
That's an actual song.
Oh my gosh! Hey,
demonetized.
So I got a off the wall question for you. What is your guilty pleasure for a song right now?
God, I don't listen to a lot of music. And the music I listen to, I wouldn't consider guilty pleasures. So the stuff that I'm listening to right now, I just found out that they are playing in town, in my town, on my birthday, and that would be a band by the name of Ghost.
Oh, very nice.
Ghost freaking Wales, man.
I love them.
They have some straight up cripplers.
I don't know if I like their new album. I haven't heard all of it yet, but
I
like
really like their new album.
Oh, you do?
Rats is such an amazing song.
I like their last album.
Yeah.
but then they canned their lead singer and they got a new one now, I guess.
Yeah, I really like their new lead singer, and I'm relatively new on the Ghost train. This is the first. Their new album is the first album that I heard from them.
Yeah,
and then I kind of subsequently went back. I was like, where do I know that? You know, they got a couple of wailers on there, straight up cripplers, and I was like, where did I hear those cripplers from? And I'm
you should check out their videos.
I have.
Oh, okay, all right. Go ahead. No, go ahead. What do you say?
I'm just trying to think out loud. Like, what else am I listening to right now?
Okay.
Not a fan favorite, but a favorite of mine has been Muse. Always.
Yeah.
Muse is always a staple.
Yep.
Not a fan of their new album. Interestingly enough, it's a little too retro for my taste.
I haven't listened to it yet.
But Ghost, man, I can't get enough of Ghost.
So I do a fair amount of time in the truck driving around, mostly chauffeuring baby girl to and fro to all the different things that she's involved in. So
she's kicking butt in her martial arts, isn't she?
Yeah. I just dropped a little 4-second video on her nunchucks today, and I was like, blew me away what she was doing. So, but I have to listen to a lot of pop.
Yeah, sure.
So this is right here. This is my guilty pleasure right here.
Oh, unfortunate. Is she into the whole Billie Eilish thing going on right now?
No.
That's good. That's good.
No.
I can't stand that.
But Taylor Swift, Delicate. I don't know what it is about that song, but I'm really digging that song. So
yeah, you have a good excuse though, because you're essentially it's like that scene in A Clockwork Orange when you just got your eye like pinned open and you're constantly listening to it, right?
I just watched that movie like two weeks ago. Yeah,
good one. It's a good one.
Not for the first time. I've seen it several times, but I went back and watched it. So anyway,
guilty pleasure in music. I don't really have. I went to school for music, and it essentially ruined music for me. So I stopped listening to a lot of music. I don't listen to music the same way a lot of people do. I listen to podcasts, and talk radio of all things. I'm boring.
No, I listen to Ben Shapiro every morning on the way into work. As soon as I drop off baby girl, flip on Ben Shapiro and listen to the news.
Oh, drop it like it's Scott. Great point. He says 21 Pilots is back, or is a kick. Those dudes wail. 21 Pilots can shred, man.
Yep. That's the pretty. Did they do Heathens? Is that the song that they did?
I don't know the names of any of their songs. I just know what they sound like. Like I said, I do music really bad.
I think Heathens was the song for Suicide Squad.
Oh, guilty. Well, I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, and it's not necessarily new. But Godsmack's version of "Come Together" by the Beatles, that's a wailer.
Interesting.
That's a wailer. If you haven't heard that one, you really need to.
So are you a Beatles fan or an Elvis fan? Because you can't be both.
Beatles.
No. Okay.
Period.
That was from a Quentin Tarantino movie. I don't know. Anyway,
the Beatles. Period.
So since we're in pop culture here, what's your favorite movie right now?
Favorite movie right now? And Game of Thrones doesn't count as a movie, right?
No, that's a.
Might as well be.
No, it's not. It's a series.
It might as well be.
It's not.
It's better than most movies, so it might as well be.
I'm not into incest, I guess, like you are.
Damn, that was a shot. I just watched Aquaman for the first time. That was okay.
I watched that night before last.
Yeah. I didn't like all the come together, let's save the planet undertones of it necessarily, but I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of movies lately.
Hmm.
Been too busy not shooting guns on the internet.
So, I mean, what's your favorite movie in general? I mean, it doesn't have to be anything recent. Mil Spec Guy says Boondock Saints for all the time.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Right. It's all right.
Let me think. Oh God. That was very Minnesotan of me. Oh God. Oh God, Dare. Yeah. Oh, please, no. Jesus, anyhow.
So Angel Verdun saying Boondock Saints as well. Drop It's Like It's Hot saying Bourne movies.
Man, I'm gonna be the weird one here. I'm gonna be choosing a movie that is artistic and doesn't have any guns in it, or very little guns. Actually, I think it does have a little bit of guns in it. But mine is I'm a big fan of the director Wes Anderson. Are you familiar?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wes Anderson. His two of For the Love of Pete. Now I can't remember.
To be good trivia, what is it about?
It's the one. I can't say the one with Bill Murray in it because he's in like all of them. Steve Zissou. Help me out, chat.
What?
Okay, number one is the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, that was.
And it's the underwater submarine one where he's chasing after the leopard, not the leopard shark. The
Meg?
No, Wes Anderson, dude. Come on. Bless it. I'm Googling it.
Well, we're gonna transition here because Alana has made it to the chat. Yay! It's good to see you.
I'm so mad at myself right now.
You talking about
The Life Aquatic?
Oh, okay, yeah. That is
The Life Aquatic and Grand Budapest Hotel are probably two of my favorite all time. Because I am a massive fan of dry comedy and Bill Murray in general, which I don't think most people can argue with. And then anything Star Wars.
Anything Star Wars?
Pretty much. Yep. I'm willing to say that.
Episode 1? Seriously?
I'm willing to say that. Wow. That's how big of a Star Wars fan I am.
22 Cheapster was trying to guess for it, and he said Finding Nemo. So I was sitting back last night watching my favorite movie, my all-time favorite movie from the director Guy Ritchie.
Lock, Stock. No, that's not Guy Ritchie. Memento.
No, it's a good one too.
Guy Ritchie. Did he do? No. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Sherlock Holmes.
Great one.
Great one, yeah. So what I wanted to, I was sitting there watching it, and there's my favorite scene is probably in the about first 20-ish minutes of the movie, and Sherlock and Holmes are in a carriage together, and I saw the scene, and I was like, this would be a great opportunity.
Hold on. What's the timestamp in the video right now?
In what video?
Whatever video we're on right now. Chat, I want you to mark down what the timestamp is in the video, subtract about 15 seconds, and I want you to get me a screen grab of the face that he made when he goes right there. I want that face. I want it sent to me somehow. One of you guys who knows me, I want that, and we're going to meme the hell out of it. Continue on, sir.
Okay. So there's the scene of them in the carriage together, right? And I wanted to throw in a little bit of a trivia contest for the chat room. So you guys, this is going to be kind of a kickoff to my 10,000 subscriber giveaway, which is I'm way behind on trying to get that, but I've got some stuff coming in that I want to make sure that I get out to you guys. So in the meantime, if you guys are interested and want to participate in this giveaway, we're going to do a handguard. I got a Trinity Force Atlas key mod handguard right here, and it could be one of y'all. So let's see if I can open it so you guys can see what it looks like. It's a pretty cool one. It's one of the minimalist type of stuff. It comes with everything in the box, so it has the barrel nut and all that jazz. So there you go. If you guys like key mod, this could be yours. So in the scene from Sherlock Holmes, put that down so you guys don't have to listen to that. Sherlock Holmes looks out the window and says, "Look at those towering structures. What an industrial age. and looks at homes. My question to you guys is, what towering structures is he specifically talking about? If you guys know the answer to that, send me an email to fitandfire78@gmail.com. That is FITNFIRE78@gmail.com. First one to have the correct answer, I'll mail this to you.
Banging. I do got to give you a bit of a congratulatory high five here. Boop, boop, for 10K.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. You kind of surpassed that pretty freaking quick, but
I still don't know what's happening. I don't know why people are watching the shit show that is Tundra Tactical, but
because
apparently we are entertaining.
It's because and by the way, you guys get some Picatinny sections that go with it too. So, but it's because people want humor. That's what it really boils down to. People are sick and tired of listening. Well, I shouldn't say sick and tired. There's a lot of people who want to get into the politics of what's going on in the 2A community, but at the end of the day, sometimes we just want to laugh, and that's what you guys are doing. So, yeah.
Sorry, Ryan is trying to text me that screen grab I was asking for.
Right on.
Oh, man. Hold on. Ryan, if you're watching in chat right now, he was like this. He was like, hopefully that is enough to get it for you.
Okay.
Alana is saying earlier, she says that high five was adorable.
Yeah, well, we'll have to get her on, and we'll do like a multi-person chat. I didn't want to say the other thing I was going to say because that would have been completely inappropriate. But yeah, so let's get her on. Let me drop in here the email address 78@gmail.com. So there you go. There's the email address if you guys want to get in on that. Handguard, tell me, what are you laughing at now?
Sorry, Ryan's sending me some great screen grabs of your face. Oh, these are perfect. I'm going to meme the hell out of these. There is one in here that is, oh yeah, that's a good one. All right, we're going to turn you into a meme.
It's great. Congratulations, Ryan. You are now banned from the chat. Hey, I think I saw someone behind you.
Say hi.
Hi, I just survived the stupid sleet/slushy snow that is.
That was
the
some
worst
alliteration.
Ever.
Some stupid, slushy, sleet, snow. Yes.
It pelts your bald head and it really hurts.
That is why I ended up getting the day off from work. Megan had to work the whole day, and my work called me and said they were shutting her down.
And on top of that, my jacket doesn't even fit the belly.
Yeah, so, it's getting there.
Alana says that she wanted to see Megatron, so there you go.
There you go. Oh, here, baby update. Baby update. We got one. Got a bun in the oven.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the baby. All right. Sorry. Baby talk taking over Fit and Fire's live stream here.
Hey, no problems. It's always good. It's always good to see Lego my Mago.
Lego my Mago.
Megatron, however you want to say it.
I think I found my favorite. Oh, these are funny, man. I'm going to make these into soaks. They're going to be great memes.
Oh, Shek, that's so nice of you. Shek says, tell Bryce and Megan that we are happy for them.
Oh, Shek. You got to watch yourself there, big guy. You're about the only person I'm going to let get away with that. Shek's giving me a lot of money, so he gets off free on that one.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome, dude. So anyway, so there you go. I wanted to throw in something for you guys just because I know there's a whole bunch of people in the chat room who are always in the chat room, and I wanted to give you a little opportunity to have a little fun, see one of my favorite movies if you haven't already seen it, figure out the towering structure that Sherlock Holmes is talking about, and you have to be specific, right? You have to be specific to what the structure is. And send that to me in an email with your address, and I will immediately send this handguard out to you. So just something really simple, but I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm stacking up behind me for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. And I'm waiting on a response from a manufacturer to see if I can get a pretty awesome barrel for you guys as well. So yeah. So
what caliber of barrel are we looking at, or is that to be announced?
To be announced. We're still kind of working all of that out right now, but to be announced. And I'm going to put it in a caliber that's pretty much what everybody has already. So, but yeah. So
hey, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
So you recently got something from me, a little present. Well, not from me, but brokered by me.
Yes.
Is it in the gun yet?
It is in the gun.
Can we see it?
Sure. I have a video of it on Instagram.
Ooh. I want to get your first take on it live on the air here. Tell us what it is, who it's from, and give these guys a little love.
Okay, so I want you to go ahead and talk for a second so I can get it out of the safe as I kick my German Shepherd out of the way.
Yeah, sure. So this little gift was sent courtesy of a company by the name of Airborne Arms up here, local in Blaine, Minnesota. It's not a play on words. The guy who owns it was he was a 509th. He was a Geronimo. Real good dude, and wanted to get some of his product out into some YouTubers' hands. And he reached out to me to ask me if I knew anybody. And I was like, man, I know this guy. His name's Fit and Fire. He's pretty awesome. He's got some cool stuff. Puts out some good videos on gear and gun reviews. And I think he'd be a great choice. And I personally run his equipment in all of my guns. So I wanted to see what Mark thought, and why don't you go ahead and tell us what it is and what you think about it?
So what we've got here is hopefully you guys can see it. It is, let me get it right there. We go right there. It is the Airborne Arms Geronimo trigger, or the AAGT, and it is pretty much a I hate to say it like this, but it's not a drop-in trigger. It's like a Geisley type of trigger, right? So you're going to have, you have the hammer and you have the sear and the springs and all that jazz. I don't have all the specifics. Do you have it handy?
It kind of depends on how you set it up, but it comes in a couple of different configurations. The shoe is the main customizable spot. Both Mark and I have opted for the flat trigger shoe. 3.5 pound or 5 pound brake on the springs. The kind of the main points of that trigger for me, and the reason why I thought you would like it on your gun, is obviously having an aftermarket trigger in an AR is a great addition, especially if you want to shoot quick, or because it's a single stage. If you're stretching it out to long range on like a 6.5 gun or a 308 gun. It's a really nice addition to have there. But the light trigger, and then the fact that there is next to zero over travel, great clean brake. Those are the big standout things to me. And then having that flat face trigger shoe, that's a big plus for me too. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Have you shot it yet? Have you been able to actually shoot it yet?
This Sunday
Ooh,
is.
I'm excited.
Yes. So, and I have been able to reach out to a local firearms instructor. He's kind of a big deal around this part, and he's got the ability to go up to 1,000 yards at his range. And he said that that I'm more than welcome to come out to shoot. We're trying to work out the date on when exactly that's going to be. But at the very least, I can get 100 yards. I can get rounds on paper at 100 yards this Sunday.
Yep. And that's the same way we started with it too, because learning that trigger is just as important as all the specs on it. Because going from a mil spec trigger on an AR to an aftermarket trigger, you can't. I mean, you can, I suppose, just stretch it out to 1,000 or 800 or whatever. But it really does help to get some practice behind it first. Yeah,
absolutely. And what I can tell right away, just by putting it into the M5 E1. This is the 6.5 Creedmoor, because I should be wearing a man bun. But
you also need a soapbox and a megaphone.
I do. But I can already tell that this is going to vastly increase my accuracy, because this had a standard mil-spec trigger in it before I put this one in it, and I can already tell that it's going to do a lot better. So I'm going to try to get it positioned here so you guys can see it. I've got the weapon charged. It is clear, and so here is the no take up, right? There's no take up whatsoever because it's a single stage trigger. Here's the brake. Boom, right there. Here's your reset. And then your brake again. It's super nice. So
a great trigger.
Now it's rated at 3.3.5, right? 3.5. But I was actually able to put it on the Wheeler gauge, and I was actually able to get it down to about 2 3/4
Wow.
on the pull. Yeah. So yeah, and I've got that video on Instagram if you guys are interested in checking that out.
Oh, I missed that one completely then.
Yeah, it's should be on there about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, I'll look it up.
About a day or so after I got it in the mail. But it comes with the anti-rotation or the fallout pin. Yeah. So that's an awesome upgrade to it, something that you don't need to buy as well. And then again, like you mentioned, the trigger shoe itself can be adapted to however you want it, and that's something that's pretty cool as well. So, and for everything that you're getting with this trigger, it ends up being about the same cost as a Geisley anyway. So you guys should definitely check him out. I will have more information on that.
He's a good dude, military guy, company built around his military service, real fun guy to be around. And he's a big time supporter of our channel. Tundra Tactical, for whatever it's worth, absolutely endorses this guy too. So
yeah. And it's nothing for me to want to help out a fellow airborne guy, so
Green Machine.
There we go. So Mario, hey, he jumped into the chat room. Good to see you. And let's see what else is going on. That's what she said. Of course, naturally, Alana, yep, every single time.
I finally broken my habit of calling her Alana. Taking about 6 months, 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So the Angel Verdun, she jumped in here and says, gentlemen, I have got to go to sleep because she has one hell of a job. Day one of travel for Clash Bash is tomorrow. Alana, always a pleasure, dear. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Kisses to you, Angel Verdun. Have fun at Clash Bash.
Bye.
And hoping to have a video on the disassembly of an AAK tomorrow. I was hoping to do it today, but just way too much going on. So anyway, yeah, there we go. So what else, Tyler? What else is going on in your world? Start wrapping it up here pretty quick, but anything else that you want to drop in real quick?
Should we do something that's never been done before?
Always.
All right, hold on. Let me get this pulled up here.
Uh-oh. He's got to pull it up.
How about we let the chat here choose what video I am going to record tomorrow?
Oh, yes. Let's do that.
Let me open up the scripts for the simple-minded section on our Google Drive here.
So what, how many options will we have?
We have a few. Okay, so we have, let's see. We have getting into shooting with little or no money, trends in the industry we hate, why building an AR sucks, more AR accessories. What is this one called? More AR accessories that suck. It's a trend here. Range bag essentials, home defense made easy, and the 5 worst EDC choices. Are the and what your muzzle device says about you.
So I've got the 5 worst EDC options. I've actually got a latecomer in on that one here. Boom. This is a new product here. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I don't know if you can see that very well. Have you seen that?
Yeah, kinda. Is that what I think it? That's what I think it is.
The wrist mag. It's called the wrist mag.
Oh my god!
The wrist mag was designed specifically for home defense, so you can attach spare magazines and gear to your wrist when you need it.
Wow.
I'm sending this to you.
Please do. That's a video all in itself.
Yes, it is.
That's wow. You know, I love our industry, but this has got to be from like it's got to be just like straight Chinesium, right?
I don't know about you. I'm starting to get emails weekly.
Same. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. From Betty, straight out of Shanghai. Her name ain't Betty. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah. So anyway, that was sent to me, and the person was like, "Hey, what do you think about that?" And I was like, "Are you serious? Is this a joke? Are you trolling me?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'm being serious." And I was like,
"Oh, no. That's the worst. That is the worst when somebody is serious and it's a terrible idea, and you got to be the one to tell them, be like, oh,
we got to stop. We got to stop." Alana says that she's asking us to stop insulting her new product.
Elena, I'm sorry. That's it's probably not going to catch on.
Yeah. So I would just have to say, go back to the drawing board because your new product sucks.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, why would you want to strap a whole bunch of weight onto your wrist?
Okay, let's think about this for a second. So we're out here. Is it so? I mean, obviously, it has to be on your firing wrist, on your strong hand wrist. So you pull it off. I mean, functionally, could you get a magazine out? Yeah, you could. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. I'm sorry.
I don't want anything on my arms to begin with when I'm trying to draw, present, or utilize my firearm, I
mean, come on. What would Nut and Fancy say? Seriously. It's extra ounces, man. It's extra ounces.
Alana says that's what they said about tourniquets too. F you guys.
Debatable in their use, though. I mean, come on, seriously. What have they ever done?
Well, I get you right there, Alana. Tourniquets, I got you. Just it is a problem solver. I think it's a better problem solver than the Glock 40. You just put a tourniquet around the neck and you're good to go.
You officially guilted the mil-spec guy into carrying one.
I did?
No, Alana. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, yeah, Alana. Yeah, she's pretty good about those guilt trips.
Oh my God, that is ridiculous. I'm looking at my phone right now.
More pictures?
No, your snap or your message to me.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Snapchat. Oh God. And he's got a knife on it. He's got a knife.
Yes. And not just one magazine, but two magazines. Not just one magazine of like a Glock magazine. It's two magazines of a single stack style magazine. And then Alana, she's just pouring it on. Now I need a wrist holster for my tourniquet.
Why don't you just pre-apply it?
Exactly. Just put one on each limb.
Yep.
Right?
Call it good. Just call it good. Just pre-apply the tourniquets. That way they're on. You have a little dry erase segment for time and date and all that stuff. Well, time. I guess you don't really need date a tourniquet. Just you're ready to go.
No. Todd Schmidt says that he would wear that with a G2C. Thanks. Freaking dick. Ryan says that he's voting for EDC. He's voting for EDC.
All right.
And yeah, so I don't know. Go back over the list again real quick. Right. Do you have it up?
And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably recording what your muzzle device says about you next. But what your muzzle device says about you, getting into shooting with little or no money. What's this one? Oh, never mind. So getting into shooting with little or no money. We have a script on there called "What the Fuck, Ruger." I don't know what that one is. I'll have to reread that one. Trends in the industry we hate. Why building an AR sucks. More AR accessories that suck. Range bag essentials. Home defense made easy, and 5 worst EDC choices.
I actually would be interested in hearing the home defense made easy.
Yeah, that is I'll be honest with you. We've been sitting on that script for probably can I read you one line from the script?
Yes.
Claymores everywhere. That'll give you an opportunity to visualize what this video will be all about.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Just make sure that the appropriate side is facing the enemy.
Yep. The closing paragraph is: don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tweet, retweet, repeat the retweet, go to the gym regularly, thank your local law enforcement, take down your Christmas tree for God's sake. Seriously, what month is it? Take a little time just for yourself because you deserve it. Start a GoFundMe in our name and keep getting good quality content like this. Everybody give the Mil-Spec guy a round of applause, because he is the writer for this glorious shit show that is called Tundra Tactical, and he is a genius.
Absolutely.
He is a genius. I am very lucky to have him on my side. Also, let's give him a little bit of a shout out here. Very recently, we announced, by we I mean myself, in representation of Tundra Tactical, the Mil-Spec guy and Yehuda, aka the Pew Pew Jew, announced that we started a Kickstarter campaign for our new book, 103, now 104 explosive gun jokes. And I would like to be the first to announce officially on a live stream that we have achieved our goal.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So a lot of that, I did very little. I promoted it on a couple of live streams and shouted it out occasionally on Facebook. But Yehuda and Eric did all the legwork for it. And so congratulations to them. Yeah. I'm very happy to have my name on it as a sponsor, as a presenter. But they were the ones who put the effort, the time into creating that book and coming up with the strategy for making it happen. So congratulations, guys. I'm happy to be part of it, and keep the donations coming in, because the more money we get for the book, the better we can make it. The more illustrations that will be in it and that type of stuff. So by all means, don't stop there. If you're interested, I'm actually going to drop a link if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Just because I'm a narcissist and everything, who put you over the mark?
Oh, let me find out. I'm going to go ahead and say it was probably a guy that I know.
There should have been a pun in what I just
said. I picked it up. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm just trying to make it seem a little bit more organic. It was you.
It was.
So that is the link in the description, or in the chat there, that you can go to if you would like to support the book. Currently, of our goal of $1,200, we're at $1,335 with 43 days to go. Like I said, the more money that we get, the more illustrations we can have in the book, the better quality the book will be when it comes out. So if you don't want it written on like old school papyrus in child handwriting, please help us get to the $1,500 mark.
Absolutely. And I will have to say that I was on the phone with the Mil-Spec guy earlier tonight.
Oh, hi, Mark. How is your sex life?
Yeah. So, but I was on the phone with the Mil-Spec guy earlier tonight, and just so you guys know, the next Keep Calm and Carry, next week we will have the Mil-Spec guy and Yehuda. Do you want to be in on that one?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, so we're going to announce it here.
If I'm not working, count me in.
Okay, so I will obviously get all of us together. We'll figure out which date and time group works best, and we'll jump right into that, and we can talk about what's going on with that, how you guys did it. Maybe give us a preview of some of the lesser good jokes.
I could probably do that.
All right, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, hey, the Grim Reaper jumping in there a little late, but that's all right. You can watch it. You can just rewind it and watch it a little bit later. But anyway, that's an hour and 20 minutes, man. I think we should probably go ahead and start wrapping this up. What do you think?
That is probably a sound decision to make here.
This is empty, so I need to go either
3 of those.
Yeah, so I need to go ahead and shut this down and get into bed to start back reading into my comic book.
There you go.
I don't know why I'm It's the graphic novel for Rising Phoenix, the X-Men Rising Phoenix. So I'm a classic guy. Like I personally think that DC and Marvel like heyday was in the 1980s. So the Rising Phoenix I think was early 80s, and it's obviously Jean Grey and the whole Phoenix tragedy. So yeah, so and I wanted to jump on that right before Dark Phoenix comes out in June, like I said earlier. So that's what I'm gonna do the rest of the night, probably till midnight, because that's what I do. All right. So with that being said, give it to you the last word there, Tyler. What do you got?
All right, guys. Well, I want to say thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Keep Calm and Carry, featuring the beautiful, the gorgeous, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Tundra Tactical. I'm just kidding. Mr. Mark from Fit and Fire and myself. Thank you guys for joining. Special shout out to Sheck for sticking around the entire time. Alana, Ashley, Megan, of course. The rest of you jokers, Andrew, 22 Cheapster, all the people that have been sticking around for the whole time. You guys are awesome. If you haven't done so, guys, this guy, I mean, he's struggling. He needs your help. Hop onto Patreon and donate this man some money. And I'm serious. Do it. I will find you. I will find you if you don't. I'm just kidding. I won't. But seriously, he deserves your money. And if there's one channel out there that deserves a little bit of love, a little bit of support, it's this guy. He kicks ass. He takes names. Thank you for having me on the show tonight, sir. You are a legend.
No, thank you. You know, I've been on your show several times. I'm trying to catch you back up on my side of the thing.
Todd, you're a legend too. Todd said, you're welcome for my service, Tyler.
Yeah.
You are a legend, Todd.
Yes, he is. Love him to death. If you guys, like I've always said, if you guys are interested in Patreon, please, by all means, do that. I also have PayPal if you guys don't want to do the whole Patreon thing, or do the super chats with YouTube. You can do the PayPal to support the channel. All of the money goes to the channel itself. I'm not pocketing this to make rich, to get rich or anything like that. It goes into range time, ammo, new weapons for me to review, and so on and so forth. So I try to be as transparent as possible. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me.
Anytime, LT.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, gosh. I'll have you know it's captain. Okay, I wear my wife's rank. Okay.
Okay.
And here pretty soon, hopefully, it'll be major. So, with that being said, with that being said, thanks guys for staying with us this long through this amount of debauchery, and we will see you next week with the Milspec guy, Yehuda, and Tyler. We'll be talking about books, we'll talk about comics, we'll talk about new guns, we'll talk about all the things that we care to talk about.
Banging.
There we go. All right, so with that being said, we're going to get out of here. As always, keep calm and carry. See you guys later. Bye, y'all.